Hi, Movie Brief is here. Today I am going to explain to you a fantasy drama film, which is called I Can Speak from 2017. Ahead spoiler. Watch out and take care.
During a stormy evening in the neighborhood, a mysterious man comes with a mallet to produce craters on the request structure walls. Another mysterious figure watches him from hence and makes sure to take filmland of what he's doing. The coming morning, Min Jae, an inferior civil service officer, starts his new job at the original quarter office. He introduces himself to everyone and meets his new associates A Young and Jong Hyun. Suddenly, the mood of the plant becomes veritably tense when one of the mysterious numbers from the night ahead shows up. She takes off the hood and the mask to reveal an senior woman called Ok-Bun, who approaches manager Yang to tell him the man went to her neighborhood to destroy the walls like he does every time it rains. She has evidence of it too. She's taken filmland and brought a sample of the sulfuric acid. The man put on the cracks to break them down more and beget erosion. The structure proprietor cuts in, telling her the structure is like that because of ruffians. And Ok-Bun accuses him of transferring goons on purpose to make people abandon their shops so they can redevelop. She also starts making a scene as she begins yelling at them, so Min Jae takes a picture of her, claiming it's part of the complaint-related substantiation recollection. He also points out she hasn't taken a number or filled in the corresponding forms and asks her to do so before calling for the coming number. Ok-Bun accepts her defeat for now but promises she will be back. After she's gone, his associates tell Min Jae about her. They call her Goblin Granny because she's the biggest problem in city. Whenever she sees indeed a little issue on the thoroughfares, she comes to the office to report it. She's filled over 8,000 by now because she's come every day for the last 20 times. She complained through 5 different directors then and is their biggest headache. People in city do not like her important moreover. But Min Jae thinks he can handle her if he goes by the book. The following day, Ok-Bun shows up with a pile of filled paperwork and a bunch of figures in her hand, because she's going by the book as Min Jae requested. He gets ready to take her reports when he is suddenly called to the director's office, who has heard what an effective worker he is. The director explains that their structure redevelopment design is delayed because of Ok-Bun's complaints, so Min Jae gives them a result: they should stop the design and allow the company that fairly bought the structure to sue them over their poor safety measures in the megacity. Also, they can lose it on purpose and the company will be given full rights to do whatever they want with the structure. The director accepts this plan and congratulates Min Jae for his brainpower, saying he could fluently go from position 9 to a position 7 hand, but Min Jae is happy where he is. Latterly in the evening, Ok-Bun is arguing with business proprietor Ha-young over some sign, making a scene in the middle of the road that must be stopped by the other neighbors. All this is being watched by a youthful boy, Young Jae, who gets scolded by Ok-Bun for eating raw ramen. This boy turns out to be Min Jae's youngish family, and when he gets home, he doesn't want to eat what Min Jae made for him. He also does not want to show him his practice, and when Min Jae points out they have moved, then because of his education, Yoon Jae responds he knows it was actually because of his job. The coming day, Ok-Bun shows up at the office with a box of print substantiation, because she's heard about the action and is happy to know the nasty company that's always remonstrating out tenants will get what they earn. While Min Jae puts it all down with their unused lines, Ok-Bun meets at a cafe with her stylish friend Young Sim, whose age is starting to give her memory problems. Ok-Bun is a little upset about that, but she also is veritably impressed by Young Sim's indefectible English when she hears her speaking it on the phone. They chat about colorful motifs. Young Sim wants to meet more frequently and take Ok-Bun traveling with her, but that is turned down, and Ok-Bun mentions her knitter shop is slow currently. When it's time to leave, Jun-sum forgets her handkerchief, but when Ok-Bun tries to return it, she sees her friend is with a woman called Ju and decides to return it another day. Latterly, while doing some sewing on the handkerchief and watching television in English, Ok-Bun is suddenly Startled by convenience store proprietor and friend Min Jae, who has come to pick the jacket Ok-Bun fixed for her. After she's gone, Ok-Bun makes a call to the USA, but when a man picks up and speaks English to her, she gets too spooked and hangs up. The following day, Ok-Bun goes to her English class, but she has trouble keeping up. She's girdled by youthful people and the schoolteacher goes too fast. After class, the top tells her she should take some of the free classes for seniors at the original occupant center, but she's tried them formerly and they could not help her, which is why she's now paying them. The star gives her the plutocrat back and tells her they cannot help her. Moreover, on her way out, she sees Min Jae speaking in indefectible English to an American schoolteacher. So when he is done, she asks him to educate her English, promising that she will pay. Min Jae turns her down, saying he does not have time to do it because he is too busy with all the complaints she files. The coming day, rather of presenting a complaint, she fills a distance of paper with another request for him to be his schoolteacher, which Min Jae turns down again. Ok-Bun also starts bothering him on the phone and shows up every day at the office to eat and read in front of him. She started to become a problem in the workspace, but when asked to give up, she says that also she'll hand in all the complaint forms she's been accumulating. Seeing his associates supplicate him not to let her do this, Min Jae accepts to give her a chance. To test her position, he gives her a list of words she must study. They are long, complicated words, but he tells her they are actually introductory English. Still, also he will accept to educate her, if he passes his test. Ok-Bun studies hard but only manages to get a 75 when they agree on 80, so Min Jae tells her he will not be tutoring her. When Ok-Bun returns home, he sees a bald man bullying Ha-young, reminding her that she has 1 month to leave the structure. Ok-Bun jumps in to defend her and recognizes the bald man as the Joe that comes every stormy night to ruin the structure, but the man and his musketeers ignore her and just leave. Meanwhile, Min Jae is on the machine home and he sees his family in that veritably same neighborhood. So he gets off the machine and follows him, only to find him having regale with Ok-Bun. She invites him to partake their mess too, and Min Jae is surprised to taste how much better her food is than his own. He is also shocked to see all her English notes on the wall. Ok-Bun explains that he'd impinge into Young Jae frequently and see him eat raw ramen, so she started to invite him over because eating alone is lonely. Touched by her gesture, Min Jae accepts to become her English schoolteacher, and rather of paying him, she can keep on inviting his family to enjoy her food. Their assignments start in the traditional way, with a text and asking each other, "How are you?" But little by little, Min Jae gets her to get further involved through further creative styles. They play board games and have coffee at the office's cafeteria. He records some songs with introductory expressions for her to repeat, and ultimately, he indeed takes her to a bar non-natives generally hang out at. Ok-Bun is nervous to talk to them at first, but when she sees they're nice and welcoming, she soon befriends them and ends up drinking and playing brickbats with them. Subsequently, while walking home, Min Jae tells her a bit about his life while he was studying abroad. His mama passed down, and his father did not tell him until latterly when he failed too. Min Jae actually wanted to be in mastermind and design amazing structures, but now he's simply a civil service officer that deals with structure-related complaints. Ok-Bun thinks his story is veritably sad, indeed if she did not understand all of it because he said it in English. When the vacation weekend comes, the sisters spend it with Ok-Bun. Young Jae wonders why she wants to learn English so poorly, so she explains she has a family that was espoused during the war and taken to the USA. He does not speak Korean, so she wants to learn English to communicate with him. Telling this story greatly dislocates her, so she leaves them for a moment to cry alone. And while she's down, Min Jae memorizes the phone he sees written on the print she's participated of her family. That night, Ok smashed dreams of her nonage with her family. The coming day, Min Jae calls Ok-Bun's family, but as soon as he mentions her name, the man tells him he does not want to speak to her and requests not to be communicated presently before hanging up. Latterly, when he visits Ok-Bun to have regale together, he's too worried to eat anything. And decides to cancel their English assignments using the reason that he needs to study to become an elderly civil service officer. The following morning, Ok-Bun goes to the sanitarium to visit Young-sim, whose condition has worsened. Ok-Bun gives her the handkerchief back, which Young-sim still remembers, but her memory comes and goes, and she does not know for how much longer she may recall effects. Jeong-ju comes in and requests to talk to Ok-Bun, asking her if she will help her friend and fulfill her last want. Moments laterly, Ok-Bun returns home to discover Ha-young is being arrested for having vended alcohol to minors, and she blames Ok-Bun for it, allowing she made one of her usual reports. The coming day, Min Jae and Young Jae have lunch together at the office's cafeteria, and Min Jae tells him that since he is not tutoring Ok-Bun any longer, Young Jae should eat nearly differently. Meanwhile, Ok-Bun comes to the office too and overhears Young telling some associates about the action trick. Getting incredibly angry, she goes to Young and asks her to give her all the substantiation back, but it's been tattered since Min Jae called it in used lines. Ok-Bun begins making a scene, so Min Jae is called to calm her down, only to be yelled at by her too. Ok-Bun is veritably hurt by his falsehoods, which will bring many people sources of income and prodigies if this is why he has been tutoring her English, so he says yes, he only did it out of pity, which earns him a poke from her. Min Jae responds by telling her he has called her family and he does not want anything to do with her, which causes her to nearly pass out. All this is seen by Young Jae. Latterly, when Jinjudake tries to visit Ok-Bun, she sees her shop is closed, which is not normal. Meanwhile, Young Jae begins smoking inside the apartment because he has lost all respect for his family. He tells him off for what he did to Ok-Bun, who only meddles in other people's lives because she's lonely since she no way had a family of her own. At the request, the bald man shows up to try to protest Ha-young out of her shop, admitting he was the bone that reported her the other day. But Min Jae arrives just in time to defend her and tells the men they cannot do anything until the action is over, which earns him a scolding call from his master. All this time, Ok-Bun has been at the sanitarium keeping Young-sim company. Her friend does not talk presently and does not fate anyone either, she just gapes ahead all day. Ok-Bun is veritably worried by this, especially because Young-sim saved her life and she can't do the same in return, so Jeong-ju gives her the letter Young-sim wrote for her before she lost her sense of tone. At that moment, a journalist enters the room and tells her he belongs to the HR 121 coalition, a support group seeking to increase public and political mindfulness of the woeful history of girls used as comfort women during war, with the ultimate thing being to get unsanctioned reason and restitutions from the Japanese government. Young-sim has been working with them for times and wants her friend to carry on her arsonist. So Ok-Bun announces she's done cashing. Some days laterally, she appears in the review and the news because she wants to be one of the victims to talk in front of the American House of Representatives, who'll be soon agitating the possibility of passing a resolution to break this matter between Korea and Japan. Now that everyone knows of her history, Ok-Bun goes to visit her mama's grave to let out all her frustrated passions, crying as she remembers how she was hidden by her own family rather of being offered comfort. When she returns home, everybody acts awkward around her, including Jinjudake, who ignores her. But Ok-Bun is surprised to admit a visit from Min Jae, who apologizes for everything. After 60 times of not showing it to anyone, Ok-Bun takes out a picture of her and Young-sim at 13 together with other girls in a military camp, where they were forced to be comfort girls. One night, after a dogface cut her stomach multiple times, Ok-Bun tried to use a rope to end effects, but Young-sim saved her and inspired her to keep living until they can escape. As thanks, Ok-Bun exaggerated that handkerchief for her. Times latterly, an adult Young-sim started to go around telling her story, but the translators would destroy what she actually said and changed it to falsehoods like them having gone to the military. based on their free will to ask for food in exchange for services. This is why Young Sim came fluent in English, and indeed wrote an entire letter in it to read in front of the Congress. When Young Sim started to have memory problems some months ago, Ok-Bun knew she'd have to take over her friend's duties soon, and that is why she started to study English. Min Jae accepts to help her again, and after he leaves, Ok-Bun goes to defy Jin Jae, who begins crying. She's hurt because she allowed they were musketeers, yet Ok-Bun no way trusted her with her story. Jin Jae would have helped in any way, and would have stopped startling her, because now she understands why it would make her blench. The two musketeers apologize to each other and make up with a clinch. Min Jae begins helping Ok-Bun with her English again, and lets her practice her speech in front of the whole office, for which Ok-Bun thanks him by enduing him a suit she made herself for him to use during his interview. Ha-young also leaves her a note with some bones in it, wishing her luck and apologizing for everything. Some days laterally, Ok-Bun arrives at Washington, D.C. with GM-ju, but her hail is about to get cancelled because unlike Young Sim, Ok-Bun no way presented evidence that she had been a comfort girl. This news appears on TV and Min Jae calls her to ask for details, feeling bad when he hears her say so she's lost because of her own pride. Min Jae gets an idea also and begins a solicitation for her to be heard. Ok-Bun's response is giving them the cutlet. The group retires to the waiting room, where one further man is staying for Ok-Bun, her family, who saw her on the news and eventually picked up Min Jae's constant calls. He apologizes for everything too, and the two of them clinch, happy to be together again. The Comfort Woman resolution was passed unanimously on July 30, 2007, but indeed to this day, Japan still hasn't apologized. Ok-Bun gets along wonderfully with her neighbors now, who hear to her when she points out certain troubles on the road. Min Jae's interview is successful, so he is not an inferior presently, now he is manager Park. Ok-Bun continues to travel around the USA to keep up her fight, and when the guards at airfields ask her if she can speak English, she says she can. Here movie ends. If you want us to explain any movie, then definitely tell us in the comments section. Subscribe the channel and also turn on bell button for more explanation videos. Thanks for watching.
Super pretty, chilling, but it, she just she can tell. Make her feel like I'm from heaven, but I still put up to hell. What's up, bad?